Hey guys, this is going to be a full breakdown video on how to sell out a coaching program or info product launch before you even do the launch or before you even release it. So most people launch an info product or their coaching program and make absolutely nothing, $0. So here's how you can make just $50,000 with this one simple form. So before I go through all of this will only work. Just leave the video. This will only work if you create educational content, if you have a high value monetizable skill. For example, if you do trading, e-com, crypto, clothing brand, if you do high ticket sales, if you have an expertise and you make educational content, and if you have over 10,000 followers on Instagram and have a personal brand on YouTube, so more than 1,500 subs. Like that. This will only work if you have these things. Okay. All right, let's get right into it. This is a $50,000 launch roadmap. So there's five subsectors of it, and I'm going to go through each one briefly. This is going to be a really long video, so I want you guys to get out a pen, get a notepad, and just write down a bunch of notes. Delete all the other tabs and just write. Just focus on this one video. Okay, number one is the creator. The creator is the person behind the brand. This is an entrepreneur, the influencer who has the vision, knowledge, and the expertise, which is why people watch you. Your personal brand or story is essential here because you're the face, the driving force, and the credibility. That's why the people are watching you because they're watching you because they want to solve a problem and they have a problem. They're problem aware. The goal is to build trust and authority, making an audience want to learn from you. Number two, which is the content. The content is the vehicle where you communicate value to your audience. This is where you provide value through short form content videos, long form content videos, Instagram story sequences, and even other social media platforms like Twitter, paid ads, LinkedIn, and much more. So high quality and consistent content creates interest, it builds authority, and connects with your audience on a deeper level, which makes you and your product more and more desirable every time when someone watches your content. See, if someone watches your content once or twice, they're going to be a cold lead, not going to want to buy. The more and more you post, the more high quality content you post as well. These both little subsect, like these little two pillars, people are going to want to buy from you because you're creating high quality content and you're posting consistently. Number three, the audience. So as you create and distribute your content, you start building an audience and loyal fan base over time, right? So if you're watching this right now, you probably already have a fan base or an audience right now. But the type of content, as personal brand you create, will dictate the type of clients you attract. So if your audience isn't just passive, they're actively engaging with your content, asking questions, leaving comments, showing interest. Then, and once this starts to compound, you can leverage this and create your own community, or even sell directly to them without any friction getting in the way. Because you're posting so much content, you're giving out so much free value. The more content you post, the more they're gonna trust you. And when they trust you, they're gonna want to work with you. They want access to you. So that's when you have the least amount of friction and you can sell your product to them. Now, an example of this is Iman Gati. Like he has so much goodwill and free will built up where he can sell anything and it will sell out instantly. That's why he does like $1 million launches in like a week, just doing that, right? And the sales. So the sales is a phase where your audience converts into paying customers, driven by your content and engagement. Scaling comes next when you expand your reach, expand your audience by increasing the content volume, building and launching the product or program, and using automated systems to handle larger volumes of sales calls and just more an influx of leads. So this leads to exponential growth, reaching more customers while maintaining the quality of the service delivery. And scaling. Okay, now scaling happens after you have made a good amount of sales, right? This is gonna work. You don't really scale up once you don't have any clients. It happens after you get experience and over time when your product starts selling out. So the goal here is to expand the results and reach a wider audience, right? A branch, a wider, more people, right? So scaling involves increasing your resources, which is time, money, team, and using smart strategies to grow, such as relaunching, charging higher. Like I know so many people that like they're just too scared to just charge high. Like you have to stop coming across it as, oh, I'm too scared to charge high. You have to come across it as, they're paying me 5 grand because I'm gonna make them 50K back. You have to start thinking like that. Stop having that scarcity mindset. You have to start thinking abundantly. Okay, what was I up to? And connecting market research. So market research is to create using and conducting market research is to create a new, better offer product and even using paid ads. Right. So when you conduct market research, you're essentially like, I'll actually go through that later because that's a huge topic. But remember, a lot of people get this messed up. Simple scales and complexity fails. to solve it. Right? Just stick with the simple funnels. A lot of people try and overcomplicate, like, oh, let's do paid ads into a community and then do like a little low ticket offer and then branch it onto a high ticket offer. No, you just gotta keep it simple, right? Okay, here's the reason why people aren't buying your product. Yeah, like you guys are probably watching this right now, thinking, Deshaun, like, I have 5,000, 10,000 followers. I have a good amount of audience. I post so much content valuable, but no one buys from me. Like, I'm barely making any money. And here's exactly why. People don't need it. People don't trust you. They don't believe in themselves, and they just can't afford it. All right? They genuinely don't need it because they consume too much entertainment content, not education. Right? So the solution is literally just create better and high quality educational content, which makes the viewer problem aware. You're supposed to be the solution to their pain point, be the medicine to their sickness. You have to come across as an authoritative figure. I speak about that a lot in all my videos. Right? You have to act as you're the best. You're the leading person in your industry. Right? And to do that is you have to leverage your case studies. Right? I'm gonna go into that really quickly right now. So next one is trust. They just don't believe it works. So with this, you need to leverage case studies and just give out as much free value, right? Because the more free value you provide, your goodwill and your free will goes up, so then you can charge higher with less friction getting in the way. Like I said, solution: leverage case studies, testimonials, create content around it, post those case studies on Instagram stories, and just build an ecosystem around them. Build an ecosystem around these case studies that you have. It's all that positioning. Someone that does this really well is Nick Setting. The reason why people trust him so much and people buy from him instantly is because he's creating a whole ecosystem with his testimonials. Number three, they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in themselves, and that's a sad truth. Like, your content should build belief in themselves. Your content should build belief where they're like, oh, okay, you know what, I do believe in myself now. Like, this guy helped me out from his free content. I do believe in myself. You have to make content around that. Your personal brand should be built around that. So your content should act as a support system where it makes them believe in themselves to actually get from where they are to their desired situation. So the solution to this, if you're struggling with this, is literally just leverage your case studies. If you don't have any case studies, leverage your own success story. Talk about how you started. Talk about how you went from zero to 100. And students, and also leverage students who were in the same situation as these people that don't believe in themselves. Right? You leverage that. So like, who were in the same situation that got to their desired situation. So if a person comes up to you and says, I can't. Let's say you're doing a trading offer, right? Someone's like, oh, I can't make 10K a month doing trading. I have a job. You can leverage that by saying, oh, Timothy over here, he came up to us. He went from 0 to 20K a month whilst being in college and also having a job. You know what I mean? So then that breaks the belief. I mean, that breaks the friction, and they're gonna want to buy. Number four, money. They can't afford it. And to be honest, you can't really do anything about this one. The best thing you can do is just filter out your lead list, or your leads. So do this is just qualify leads before sales calls. Use a platform application, a VSO, or a simple inbound sending script to pre-qualify them. So then, by doing all this, they're gonna be aware that your product costs multiple four figures to join. Plus, if they're too broke, you can even downsell them to a monthly subscription or a paid community, then upsell them later once they get the funds. I recommend doing the downsell thing once you get experience of just building out one offer. You don't want to be just building out five different offers and then everything gets fucked up. Okay, here's the organic funnel. This is the Instagram story sequence. Here's how we get people from cold, have never seen your content before, or they're kind of familiar with you, to hot leads that want to give you your money. Okay, in the cold to warm phase, your goal is to grab attention and build trust with your audience. So start by talking about your own story, how you started, how you went from pain to desired situation. Be authentic. Make sure you come across as an authority figure, so people come to you first whenever they have a question or a problem. Make sure you share quick value tips, case studies, client success interviews, and the behind the scenes content to show your expertise and spark curiosity, encouraging followers to engage more deeply with your brand. Okay, now we're going from all this, they're gonna be a bit more familiar with your content. They've probably seen it a couple more times, like, oh yeah, I know such and so, yeah, I know Gushon. And now we have to get them from warm to hot. Right? So as leads move from warm to hot, the focus shifts on nurturing their trust and increasing their emotional connection. So interact with your audience by messaging new followers or even sending free documents, webinars to loyal viewers. Also incorporate testimonials or social proof to showcase your product's effectiveness, and use interactive elements like polls, quizzes, or Q&A sessions to encourage a two-way communication, and it builds a deeper sense of community on your stories, right? And here's one we get from hot, where like they're ready to buy, but there's like that little barrier to them actually giving you the money. So in the hot conversion stage, your leads are ready to buy. So in order to sign them as a client, you have to do a call to action, right? That can either be a YouTube video, short form content videos, IG story, or even just an inbound setting script. So offer irresistible incentives like, oh guys, I just launched my new program. That's gonna get from 10K a month for my clothing with. We're starting a clothing brand. It's limited time. We're doing a discount as well for the first 10 people that get in, or the first 5 people that get in, early access, or even some exclusive bonuses to create urgency. Use direct CTAs. You have to make sure you tell them exactly what you want, like a swipe up or text me the word growth or something like that to guide the viewer to actually buy from you. Also, leverage scarcity and demand so that they act on it ASAP as soon as possible. And yeah, you just got to go hard on this, especially as when your launch happens. That whole 5 day period when you're about to launch. Now we're going to be talking about selling before you build. This is the most leverageable part of the whole system. Okay, listen carefully. Let me move this up, yeah. Selling before you build. So the pre-sale stage. You start by offering early access to your program or mentorship. Let's say you do high ticket sales, you made 100K a month with that. You'd say something like, hey guys, I want 5 people to join. I'm making 5 new spots for people to join my program. For the beta alpha, we're doing a 20% discount. Join up, right? And then people are gonna get more in, and the goal is to get a commitment from your audience without having to build everything up front. So you get people in already without building the product. This is insanely leverageable. So while now you're in the second stage, which is the market research. So while you're selling this beta offer, you also gather market research to understand your audience needs, and you build a product around the market research. So this is actually done through one-on-one calls or direct conversations with your early buyers to ensure the product will provide the exact value they're looking for. So the goal for this is to literally just make sure there's demand and real interest for the offer. Step three: once you early access, once you early access Once your early access customers start consuming the product, even if it's incomplete, you have to actively seek feedback. So this feedback can be gathered through surveys, interviews, one-on-one messages, even on calls to understand how the product can be improved. Refine and improve the product before it's fully launched to the masses. Talk to these early people that have bought into your product. Ask them, what should I improve? What do you think would be better? So ask these deep questions and then build a product around that. And then the last stage, the final product. Okay, so after gathering feedback and refining your product, you then build out the final version of your product, integrating all the pain points into your program. The goal for this is to deliver a high quality, fully optimized product that's been used by real customers. And I'm going to be making a video on how you can do this whole system by just using ChatGPT. This one section, the section one right now. It's really simple. Like I do with my clients right now. Just use ChatGPT to make this whole system up. It's really simple. I'm gonna be talking about that in the next video, but I won't go too deep with it. Okay, now for an example, right? If you refine your program with feedback, you release the full version to a wider audience with confidence and it meets your ICP needs, right? It's gonna be irresistible for people not to buy because your product is actually just built on your audience's pain points, right? And now the launch mastery. This is how you do a proper launch. This is how you do a $50,000 launch. A lot of my close friends, a lot of my networks that I'm close with who are in this field have told me this. Here's exactly what you do. So here's what you do in your pre-launch. I'm gonna make this a bit simple. I won't go too in depth on it. I want to make a full video just on this. But listen, the pre-launch, you want to just share teasers. You want to do sneak peeks and build anticipation. Well, I like to call it. Everyone kind of likes saying whisper and tease and then scream and shout. I like to do it like this. I forgot the saying. It was like you walk, and you sprint. So the first part is you just walk it, a little slow walk, right? You kind of say a little bit about it, and then you go 0 to 100, right? That's kind of my whole thing on it, right? And then the goal is to create hype and educate your audience before the offer goes live. You want people to be aware that you're dropping something, and the launch day comes. You have to open the launch, create urgency and scarcity, saying something like, this program will only be up for 24 hours. We are only letting in 5 students. Then we'll be deleting the story. This plays on the human's emotions, right? Scarcity and urgency. The goal is to drive conversions by emphasizing limited time deals and bonuses. It's really simple, guys. You don't have to overcomplicate it. And then the close day. You have to use Use countdowns, use social proof, highlight scarcity to drive urgency. But also, don't be afraid to post new members joining in the program. Screenshot your messages with new people joining in, screenshot people DMing the word growth or whatever for the program. So then these viewers are actually being like, oh, like people are genuinely buying this program. I should get in as well. I'm gonna tell you one thing: everyone follows the crowd. If you see one person and you see 100 people doing one thing, that one person will follow those 100 people. That's just how it is. The goal is to literally just drive last minute sales before posting the offer. That's literally it. Like this whole thing I just made, it took me like 2 hours to make. I put a lot of effort into it, but this whole system, you can make 50K a month. Get like I'm not gonna say guaranteed because nothing is guaranteed in life, but just by doing this whole system, right? Doing the launch strategy, the content strategy, market research, all of this, it's it's really hard not to make 50K a month, 50K cash collected. It's really hard not to, right? So I'm gonna be posting way more videos like this. I'm gonna be going way more in depth on each section soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm trying to go as hard as possible on content, personal brand. And if you guys want this document as well, just hit me up on Instagram saying, just send through the document. I'll send it through. But that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.